Welcome to my top 10 favorite non-coaster rides. In this video, I'll talk about the flat and dark rides I enjoy the most, though I excluded any water slides from this list. Let's jump right into it. On number 10 is Harry Potter and the Forbidden Journey at Universal Studios in Hollywood. I've never experienced any ride quite like this. It has top-notch theming and a very unique experience. I don't remember too much from this ride because I rode it about 4 years ago, but what I remember is pretty damn awesome. I don't know if it's as good as its counterpart on Universal Studios in Orlando, but if you are into dark rides, this is a ride for you. On number 9, and this will surprise you, is another dark ride, but this time a shooting dark ride. Maus or Chocola at Phantasialand. This is by a whole long shot the best shooting dark ride I've ever experienced, just because the theming is so unique. The theme of the ride is a bakery where you go through and try to shoot mice with chocolate balls. And trust me, it's just as crazy as it sounds. And just because of the weird theming of this ride, I love it so much. This is a ride I grew up with. I rode this coaster for the first time in 2013, making this the first of the rides I rode on this list. On number 8 is another ride from Universal Studios Hollywood. The Jurassic Park water ride, which is now the Jurassic World water ride. I adore the theming of this ride and the story is pretty good as well. I don't remember how wet you get, but you got pretty wet. And this was overall a very good and very fun experience. And this is a pretty long water ride, and it's beautiful. And now we are getting into flat rides. On number 7 is Loke at Leesburg. This is one of the most visually appealing gyro swings I've seen, and it's currently my second favorite gyro swing. While the theming of the ride is decent for a flat ride, and it also has a good ride time, it wasn't as thrilling as I hoped it would be. It was still good enough, so I rode it twice. And you can never go wrong with a good old Interman gyro swing. On number 6 is the only drop tower on this list, Highlander at Hansa Park. This Funtime drop tower is currently the tallest gyro drop tower in the world. It's not particularly the drop that makes this ride good, but the entire experience. The soundtrack of this ride is awesome, and you are at the top for quite some time. And the view from the top is stunning. On the one side, you can look over flat northern Germany, on the other side, there is the Baltic Sea. And the tilting seats make this ride even more thrilling. But if you wonder why this is the only drop tower on here, I am not really a drop tower guy. That's not really my thing. On number 5 is another flat ride from Leesburg, the S&S Scream & Swing Upswing It. And the reason why this ride is so high is the location. It's built right onto a hill, and that is making the experience so much better. This is currently the only S&S Scream & Swing that I've ridden. I could have ridden some more, but I didn't. And the ride itself just surprised me. It was surprisingly fun and more intense than I once thought. On number 4 is the Interman gyro swing Chillin at Jura's Summerland. This ride is a bit better themed than Loke in my opinion, and the ride felt much better. Of course they are still similar, but for some reason Chillin was more intense and it felt a little crazier. One of these reasons could be that a friend of mine told me a trick how to get a better experience. The guy I'm talking about is Villas. You might know his YouTube channel. If not, he's linked at the top. The trick he taught me was putting your arms between the restraint. That is making you feel much more open. And now for the top 3. And the rides in my top 3 will probably stay the same for a very long time. On number 3 is Chiapas at Phantasialand. This is by far the best water ride I've ever ridden. The theming is top notch, the ride is super long, and the final drop is amazing. And it has a fantastic soundtrack as well. And you can't forget about the Maya disco. That's the best themed part of the ride. And just climbing to the top for the final drop is also full with beautiful theming. And I don't think a water ride can get much more perfect than this. Coming in at number 2 is the massive flat ride Infinity. This ginormous swing ride is traveling around fairs in Europe, but mainly in Germany. And riding this at night is one heck of an experience. The hang time you get on this thing is mental, and it's just so intense. Besides that, The ride time of the ride is pretty long, and in some of the swings, your sense of orientation is completely gone. And swinging from hang time to gray out to hang time is something else. So if there is the possibility that you can ride this thing, then do it. It's amazing. But it's not quite as good as number 1. Number 1 is Vertigo at Tivoli Gardens. This ride is already starting off crazy, but the beginning is nothing. Once you're starting to pick up speed, this thing is getting intense, and I mean really intense. And then it's pulling 5Gs almost the entire time. And then you will get a gray out. I almost blacked out, and I had a pretty strong gray out. And while the ride itself isn't really themed, the location it's in is pretty beautiful, because it's right next to Tivoli's small lake. While some people love these well-themed dark rides, and others go crazy about drop towers, this is my type of ride. Just sheer intensity. Consistent intensity. And there you go. These are my top 10 favorite non-coaster rides, excluding water slides. Maybe, just maybe, I'll do a separate video on water slides, but that's not really my thing. Thanks for watching. What's your favorite non-coaster ride? Bye.